So, are you organizing this type of
Yes,
training
yes,
sessions
yes, yes,
for
yes, yes. Yeah,
other
basically,
universities?
this is a collaboration between us and NADCL, sir. Then,
Okay.
by virtue of being proud partners of NADCL, the collaboration with
Okay.
other esteemed organizers as well.
So, can we also organize like this?
Sure, why not? Why not, sir?
What would be the mode of sending proposal or requesting you?
Sir, we can discuss. We can. I'll call you and we can discuss.
Sure, sure. So, do you have my mobile number? No.
Yes, yes, I do. I do. I do.
Okay.
Good afternoon, participants. I welcome you all to the second session of the day, the afternoon session. We have the pleasure of having Dr. Shyam Sundar Sharma with us. Sir is PIAICRP Mushroom, Department of Plant Pathology, Rajasthan College of Agriculture, Maharana Pratap University of Agriculture and Technology, Udaipur, Rajasthan. And the topic of deliberation chosen by our esteemed guest is desert gastromycetes mushrooms of economic importance, a specialty of Rajasthan. Sir, your audio as well as visible, and your presentation is also visible, and the session is being recorded. Please start, sir. Thank you.
So, good afternoon, all the participants. I think I'm audible to you, and I hope that you will enjoy this particular session. And here, the title is Desert Gastromycetes Mushrooms of Economic Importance, which are a specialty of Rajasthan. Why I wrote this gastromycetes? Because most of the gastromycetes mushrooms, they are found in either in desert or in the arid climate, and that is so much, very much or too much available in Rajasthan. And now you can see the list of wild edible mushrooms which we used to collect during rainy season in Rajasthan. And you can see the list. Auricularia, which is very famous, Polytricha has been already grown and it has medicinal value. And it is you can say it is a very good for liver problems and skin problems. Second and third, these are the desert specialties, which are Podexis pistillaris and Philorhina inquinans. So usually in our Rajasthan, we the people call them Khumbi or Thumba or Gajargoti, and they are known to be edible, and they are edible, and people are using these mushrooms after wild collections, and they used to appear after first rains in the monsoon, and they appear in too much quantity, and people used to sell it in market, as well as they are sold in vegetable market, as well as some boys or some villagers, they prepare just like a garland of these mushroom, and they sell it on the roadside to truckwala drivers or other travelers, and they enjoy the dish of this mushroom by preparing a dish in the coming dhaba and like that. So in Rajasthan, if you happen to be there in Jaisalmer, Barmer, Jodhpur, Bikaner, and Jalore, Pali, so you will find this sabji of vegetable or recipe of this Podexis and Philorhina in almost all the dhabas. Apart from that, we are also getting here Volverella calvaceae. Calvaceae is again gastromycetes, and it is called as puff ball. And you know that calvacin is one of the antibiotic which has been prepared by this mushroom. Then the pleurotus we all used to find, and this Hericium erinaceus, this is another medicinal mushroom which we are getting in plenty in our area, and now it is being grown artificially in most of the AICRP centers of mushroom, and we are having very good cultures of these mushroom. In Chhattisgarh, the university, no, sorry, Indira Gandhi University of Agriculture Sciences, that is in Chhattisgarh. They are growing this mushroom in at a large scale, and people are liking this because of its medicinal value. Apart from this, there are cythus. This is also you can say bird nest fungi, but this also comes under gastromycetes mushroom, and this has medicinal value. Why I am emphasizing gastromycetes? Because most of the gastromycetes, they have basidospores in a gleba or in a powdered form, which is in a closed periderm, and this particular this basidospore mass is having antibiotics, antioxidants, and it is rich in protein. 36% protein is found in these, which is a record. I think nowhere in the world any mushroom doesn't have more than 24 to 25% protein. But these two, Podexis and Phallorina, they contain 36% protein, and that is very valuable protein, which is 95% digestible and rich in lysine and tryptophan. Then this is another list of Tulostoma. This is also gastromycetes mushroom. You know, Tricholoma and Pleurotus and Termitomyces, they are usually found in all subtropical climates except in our temperate region. So you will find all these. And then again, Scleroderma. This is also Scleroderma citrinum. This is just like a citrus-shaped puffball, and this also contains so many antioxidants and the same values as in Valorina and Podaxis. So now you can see the photographs. This is the auricularia you can see, which is available in wild, and people used to eat this mushroom after just collecting from the habitats, and they are mainly found in on the wood, and they have very good medicinal value. As I told you that they are very good for liver and skin problems. This is Calvacia cythiformis, which for which I was telling that this by this mushroom, Calvacin is an potent antibiotic which has been prepared by this mushroom, and sometimes the weight of one puffball or one mushroom may go up to 1.5 kg. So this is the situation. And this is another Coriolis mushroom. This is Lycoperdon. The size, Calvacia and Lycoperdon are almost similar, but the size is small in case of Lycoperdon. Both comes under the category of gastromycetes, or you can say puffballs. That means this this entire ball, this is a periderm, or it is a closed structure, and if you just cut it, you will see the basidospore mass. So that is the beauty of this mushroom. Now you can see this wild, this is Faulus canadensis, this is Hericium, which is very much found, and this is the Leucocoprinus, which is known to be inedible, but this contains some alkaloids which can be used as a medicinal properties. Then this is the Phallorina incumbens for which I was telling, and this is the beauty of Rajasthan and desert specialty. Then this is another Pleurotus pink mushroom which we call Salmonea stamanius, and these two are Podexis. Now there is a difference between two. Now see here Phallorina and see here Podexis, and this is another Podexis. So this entire fruiting body is edible, except just beneath the portion you cut it and make it small pieces and just use directly for the preparation of curry, or for the preparation of soup, or for the preparation of other recipes which you would like to eat. And another is Scleroderma citrinum. This is citrinum because I told you that this size is just it looks like citrus. So नींबू जैसा होता है, and that's why. And this is also a puff ball, and this is Termitomyces. It is very much available near the termite nest, and this is also edible. This Tricholoma is also edible, and this is Tulostoma brumale. You see, this is also puff ball, and it has a stalk, and on the top of the pilus, you will see a fine pore which secretes or which releases basidospore powder, just like a jet-like release is there. This is another Volverilla, which is edible, and this is Pleurotus. This is Pleurotus. This is the geographical condition of Rajasthan. From here, zone 2, zone 1st, zone 2, up to here, this is entire portion is desert. But nowadays, due to Indira Gandhi Canal, it has converted into green zone, and water table has also gone up. And people are fortunate that they are getting water from Punjab and Haryana, and rest of the zones they are having good rainfall and they are green. So the people are having in mind that the Rajasthan is desert. So no, all entire Rajasthan is not desert. The desert is only this zone 2, zone 1A, B, zone 2A, and zone 2B. This is the, you can say 56% of the total area is under desert. This is clear cut picture of Podaxis pistillaris, which is wild edible, and it is being exported now to so many Middle East countries, and cost has gone up to around $250 per kg of these mushrooms, because these are very much liked by Arab people, and they eat it. This and Philorana both. This is Termitomyces. You can see under the habitat. This is on the termite nest. This is another Tulostoma. This is also edible. This is also being sold in market. This is Volverella, which is collected in the wild, and this is also edible. Now this is another Tricoloma, which is very much found in Kashmir also. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and from northeast to down west, you will find this mushroom. This is another auricularia, which is called as Polytricha. This is also edible. And this is Philorana inquinans, which is found here, and it is very much edible, and it is being exported to several countries. This is so very prominent mushrooms in Rajasthan are Philorana inquinans podaxis. They are having, they are constituting almost 65% of the total wild mushroom consumption. The 65% of total wild mushroom consumption comes from Philorana and Podaxis only. Other mushrooms which are frequently available are like Auricularia, Calocybe, Lentinula, Tricoloma, and Faulus canadensis. So this is, we have prepared pure culture of these all mushrooms. We have deposited, and these are the four mushrooms on which we are we have initiated, and we are working on these four species to grow them or to domesticate them. And we have become successful. We have partially become successful in growing Philorana inquinans, but still Podaxis could not be grown. We have prepared culture. We have reached up to the spondron stage, but fruiting bodies could not be appeared. However, some pinheads were seen, but still we are working on this. These are the combinations we tried for cultivation of these species, and different casing materials we are also used just to see if pinheads comes out, but success was very limited, and treatments were taken on different temperatures also, on different light intensities also, and this is the, you can see the result here. This is the big, and you see this is how it is coming out, and how it is coming out. But originally it looks like somewhat like this, but the stripe length is not that much, which is found in wild. So that here the point where we are lagging behind, and we are trying that it should be perfectly cultivated, or we can give its perfect cultivation protocols in future. Now you can see that when we are domesticating any mushroom, that means we are bringing any mushroom from wild to the laboratory. That means it's a kind of like hardening in case of tissue culture. When we grow a tissue culture and we take it to the field and we take it to the pot, that is kind of hardening situation is there. So we have to focus on culture. We have to focus on its dichoretic stage. We have to focus on whether we are getting true type fruit bodies or not. So that is one biggest challenge that we are taking, and we are working on this. So we have also tried this mushroom on the on the earthen pots also, taking soil also, taking leaf litter also, taking some compost also. But the success was, you can say, very, very limited. But limited success leads to the huge success. That is our motto, and that's why we are focusing on this mushroom too much. Every year we are carrying out experiments, looking to its importance, looking to its economic importance, because our desert area, or where this is found in wild, the people are earning lakhs of rupees out of it. And now many concerts or many private agencies, they are exporting this mushroom and fetching a very good amount of foreign exchange, especially from the Middle East countries, because most of the Arabs, when they visit Rajasthan, they see that the climate is almost similar, but temperature is not too high. But there are advantages, or there are advantages, or you can say these deserts are treasure of very, very important and rare edible mushroom. So this is one of them. Now you can see, this is the another success story. You can see that in a bag we have prepared, and here you can see the fruit body having very, very short stipe, whereas in wild, when we collect it, the stipe is long enough. It is around 8 to 10 centimeter long, but here we could get only 2 to 3 centimeter length. So that was the drawback behind it. And this is how again we tried different substrates, and it was again the same story like this. You can see bumping is there, and fruiting formation is there, but still we were not able to get the complete fruit body which we desired. But still, in Podaxis pistillaris we reached up to this stage. If you think about Gucci mushroom, which is Morchella, and people have been trying, and people have been getting so many projects to cultivate this artificially, but they couldn't get. And still we feel that we are far ahead from them, that at least we reached to the stage of this fruiting formation. Maybe may not be that true to type, but almost 70 to 80% similar to that which we found in nature. This is another, and this how you see, this is the situation how it initiates the fruit body. That is the very beautiful to see, that if it is closed in a bag, then it creates a kind of pressure to come out. So then what we do, we make a slit over there, and then it starts developing. And warts are same age in case of the nature, but the problem is of stipe length. Now we are going to increase the CO2 concentration in cropping room, so that we can get a very good fruit body, or true to type fruit body. You can see, this is a I have made this life cycle by my own hand. This is a handwritten. This photograph is collection, wild collection. From here, you can see that this is nature. This is after shedding of the basidial spores. This kind of cup is remains, and these are the basidial spores. And these basidial spores, they germinate, and they germinate like this. And after germination, now you see in basidiomycetes or in gastromycetes, there is a ratio of male and female basidospores, and that characterization facility is not available everywhere, and it requires a lot of sophisticated equipment. So if we have that kind of facility, we can go for protoplast fusion to get this dikaryotic mycelium. This is very important. If you are having dikaryotic mycelium, you can get true to type fruit body. But what we are doing, we are preparing a culture by picking up randomly the basidiospores in maltextric media, and we raise the culture, then we prepare a span, and then after span, we just use it for fruiting body development. So like this is a production of button in nature. How it happens like this? It happens like this. There's a production of buttons. Initially, it comes in a very, very small shape buttons, then this is a young fruit body, then this is a mature fruit body. Now there is a dormant phase. So the problem comes when we have collected residue spores of this season and we want to grow this mushroom in the same season. So it becomes chances are very less or negligible, because they require a 6 month or 1 year, 6 month to 1 year period of dormancy. So that also we have done, that we have collected bacillus spores and kept them in glass vial for 1 year, and then we started preparing cultures out of these, and we tried for their cultivation, and then it was successful. So that means it is obvious that it requires a kind of dormant phase when you are going for domestication or for artificial cultivation of this mushroom. Now you see, this is the experimental result of ours. Here you can see in every bag, you can see one or two fruit bodies are coming out, and they are very alike as in nature they are found. But the problem which I told you, that is type is rudimentary or having a very less length as we required in the true to type fruit body. This is the true to type fruit body. Here you can see the warts. These warts are available. These warts are clear cut seen in the artificially, artificially cultivated cultivation trials. But the thing is only this is type. This is type we are not able to get yet. But hopefully by another 1 year in 2022 we'll be able to give its cultivation technology. This is Podaxis. You can see in nature, this looks like this, and this can be found even in Haryana and Punjab, because earlier, if you see history, Haryana and Punjab were also part of this desert. Later on, due to rivers, 5 rivers, they became rich in water, and water level gone up, and then the lands were converted into you can say cultivated lands, or green belt was developed. Otherwise, earlier they were all deserts. So you will find these mushrooms in Haryana also and Punjab also, in some parts of Western Punjab, in parts of Western Haryana. You will find these two mushrooms, not in that quantity, but somewhere you will find. And this is the combination of shiitake, which we tried on different substrates, and still we are doing work on this mushroom. Calocybe indica is one of the very prominent mushroom. This is called as milky mushroom, and uh, you can say that we are the first who cultivated this mushroom in India for the first time. This milky mushroom, artificially we cultivated this mushroom for the first time. So that credit goes to this center, that this was able to grow this mushroom for the first time. This is the commercial cultivation of Calocybe indica. Thank you. So if you have any question, you please ask.
गुड आफ्टरनून
You
सर.
have any? Yes.
सर मैं गुवाहाटी से सुनीत तालुकदार बोल रहा हूँ.
बोलिए.
सर सर just want to know, like
हाँ.
sir, like in compared to Rajasthan, of course the climatic condition of northeast is not that I mean इतना गर्म नहीं है. Although it's sir, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying that like राजस्थान के compare में northeast का weather तो सर इतना गर्मी नहीं है. Although we have high
बहुत
humid.
अच्छा weather.
तो सर लाइक यहाँ पे लाइक समर के टाइम में मैं ऐसे नोटिस करता हूँ, लाइक जब बारिश देता है तो लाइक क्वाइट फ्रीक्वेंटली इन सम ट्रीज आई नोटिस दिस ऑरिकुलरिया स्पीशीज ग्रोइंग.
Yes.
सो सर आई जस्ट वांट टू नो कि अगर
yes.
सर मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि अगर ऑरिकुलिया ग्रो कर सकता है यहाँ पे, मतलब ऑरिकुलिया फ्रूट होने के लिए अगर टेम्परेचर है, तो मतलब आपने जो स्लाइड्स में अलग मशरूम दिखाया था टेम्परेट मशरूम, तो पॉसिबिलिटीज है वो भी यहाँ का वाइल्ड में मिल सकता है?
या Shall I answer your question?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So I've been to Northeast several times, to Imphal, to Guwahati, to Jorhat, and to almost the entire Northeast, to Umiam and everywhere. Now, my your question is, you are frequently getting auricularia, frequently getting, you might be getting shiitake, you might be getting some other edible mushroom, and they are being grown there by our ECRIP setup, which is there in Umiam, that is in Meghalaya.
Yes,
One
sir.
is in Imphal, one is in Gangtok. So they are growing this mushroom, and they are having culture also, and it can be grown successfully there also. And another very good thing that you are asking, if you are interested, we can send you the culture of gastromycetes also, for which we are trying here. And because there in your condition, when high temperature is there and the humidity is good, then you can try this mushroom, that is Philorana and Podaxis over there. You will be successful to grow this mushroom there also. So there is no doubt that whatever wild mushrooms you are telling, you are collecting, you are getting in your climate, they have already been grown. But the only thing is this desert specialty, which are Philorana Podaxis, they have not been grown successfully under artificial conditions, and protocols have not been developed so far.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah,
If you, sir, I mean, अभी आपने जो बताया, like, if you want, I mean, if you can send me, sir, I will be
yeah,
willing to try. I will be willing to try that
yeah,
one. Like, आप अगर थोड़ा बहुत procedure like you send it, like कैसे करना
yeah.
है, so
Yes.
I will try my best, sir.
Sure. I'll share the entire protocol and all everything, and I'll send you culture also. If you can try and if you can work on this will be a wonderful finding. And jointly, if we get success here and you get success over there, we can publish a very good paper. Not only paper, this will be a great contribution to the society, because people are collecting this in wild in ample quantity, huge quantity, and this is now being exported to Middle East countries and so many countries, as I told you earlier. And prices are also very good. You can imagine 250 rupees per dollar. So what could be the rate? It is around more than 8,000 or 10,000. I don't know, but you can imagine this is the rate.
Yes, sir.
So that will be a great contribution. I will be very happy to share you cultures and share you all the protocols which are desirable to grow this mushroom.
Sure, sure. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
sir, okay.
No. हाँ, 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 नहीं नहीं तुम काम करो. हाँ कोई नहीं. Yeah.
Okay, sir. And about this auricular mushroom, wood deer, sir. This wood
Yes.
deer, you said it has lots of medicinal properties. So apart
Yes.
from like using it as a medicine or medicinal mushroom, sir,
Yes.
I mean, lots of tribal peoples are already consuming this mushroom as a normal,
Yeah.
like the way we
Yeah.
consume
Yeah.
other edible mushroom. I mean,
Yeah.
sir, do you know how to? I mean, since this mushroom I have noticed is very sticky, very jelly type, and
Yeah, jelly type. Yes.
so, sir, how actually it is consumed?
Yeah, very good. See, you are having in Northeast Emma market markets, okay, and you are observing that this is available in market, and ladies used to sell these dried auricularia
Yes,
over
sir.
there, and the people use while preparing the fish, they mix it with the fish.
Okay.
Or if you want to consume it like a soup, that is the best way to consume it. Just cut into small pieces and put it in pressure cooker and take 3 whistles and then prepare a soup. So that will be a wonderful preparation, and that will be having 100% nutritional value, and there is no nutrition will be lost during the process of preparing a recipe, and that will be very good for consumption.
Okay.
Although it's a jelly like, but when you crush it and you just grind it, it becomes edible. You will not feel, you will not hesitate to eat it. Otherwise, in gel-like structure also, we are eating so many things which are gel-like or just like auriculera-like.
Okay. So actually, वही मतलब nowadays we are finding sir like commonly market में इतना available नहीं है, but still sir जो costly departmental store होता है, sir there we can find a particular edible thing. अभी फिलहाल basically वो बाहर से import होके आ रहा है, that is sir edible algae sir. एल्गी एंड सी कुछ सी फूड रिलेटेड होता है, ग्रीन कलर का. यस सर, वो मतलब एकदम पतला पतला पापड़ टाइप का स्मॉल पीसेस में बिकता है. वो सूप के साथ खाता है वैसा टाइप का. वो थोड़ा हाई मतलब कॉस्टली प्राइस है. तो आई वाज जस्ट थिंकिंग इन दैट एंगल, पता नहीं, पर दिस मशरूम आल्सो इट्स स्किन इज लाइक वैसा स्टिकी टाइप.
No. It is available in your market very popularly, and people are selling the wild collection only. And only few people are growing it, or some might be growing it at large scale, but it is not being imported. Don't say like this, because it cannot be imported. It is very much available in India. In Northeast is a hub for this mushroom. So it is not like this, and we have also grown here, and we are also growing it, this mushroom, because we are getting this culture from under ECRIP setup from the national center, and we are getting this mushroom every year. Hello. हाँ, जल्दी बोल भाई, क्लास चल रही है तो देर बात करो.
Okay. सर एक्चुअली मैं वो नहीं बोल रहा था, मतलब यहाँ पे क्वाइट एक्सटेंसिवली मिलता है. आई हैव सीन इन मार्केट्स एंड ऑल, ड्राइड फॉर्म में सेल होता है. सो आई वाज सेइंग कि अभी तो फिलहाल जो आई कैन सी इट्स लाइक नॉर्मली सेल्ड इन मार्केट इन ड्राइड फॉर्म, एंड प्राइस इज आल्सो क्वाइट लाइक हाई रेट, अराउंड 1200-1500 per kilo. So
yes.
But I was just saying कि instead of, I mean जो common practice है अभी just dry करके sell करता है, can this thing can be also like introduced in the market in the similar way, वो जो algae type product जो बिक रहा है?
Yes sir, that is just a product. You can prepare a product like this. You can prepare papad. You can prepare a pickle of this. You can prepare badiya of this. You can prepare anything out of it. Just crush it, and you can prepare just like you can see. You might have seen papad. That in that form, it can be prepared and can be sold in the market.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Any other have question?
Namaskar, sir. I am Satyajit Mahapatra from Jharkhand, sir.
Yes, sir.
I am a grower as well as a trainer. So just I want to ask only two questions just for to enhance my knowledge, and I have a curiosity. So I am asking my first query is that since mushroom farming is mainly an indoor farming where the humidity, temperature, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and light is required. Then I want to ask, as you have been in many parts of the country, what do you feel that what are the challenges for a grower in Rajasthan for mushroom farming, sir?
The biggest challenge in Rajasthan that we have a dry climate. It's not humid. It is hot but dry. It is during winters the temperature is low, but it is dry. So that is one of the biggest disadvantages, and that's why we are getting very, very low biological efficiency, very low yield. And sometimes a grower faces a harsh situation that he has done everything perfectly, but still he is getting less production. So that kind of situation here prevails. You know that Rajasthan is known as a mixture of hot and dry, and the only 43% of the area that is having enough rainfall and enough humidity, enough irrigation facilities. So that's why Rajasthan is in Rajasthan condition. The mushroom growers are facing a lot, but now you know that Rajasthani people are very hardy and they are hard workers also.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
they are doing it, taking it as a challenge, and they are creating climate controlled conditions. Even you can see in Rajasthan around more than 68 units are there which are growing button mushroom round the year, throughout the year. They are growing
Okay.
king oyster round the year, which is temperate. So this kind of situation is there, but we know that it is a dry climate, so we have to maintain the humidity. So what we are doing, we are installing foggers. We are frequently irrigating the beds. We are frequently sprinkling the waters. So that way we are maintaining humidity, and that during high temperature also we can get humidity coupled with low temperature. So that is the situation people are accepting as a challenge and fighting it and getting success. And now you can imagine that the biological efficiency of button mushroom, which comes almost 20%, nearly 20% in temperate region. So here in Rajasthan, people who are growing under climate control conditions, they are also getting more than 20% biological efficiency. So that is an achievement.
Sir, congratulations, sir. And
Yeah,
my second query is that, as you told in the slide,
yeah.
that Calosaib indica was first
First
cultivated
grown here.
there,
Yeah,
there. But
yeah,
what is the reason behind that? Particularly the southern states are
yeah.
doing much better in the cultivation of the milky,
You
whereas
know that.
Rajasthan is
Yes,
uh, going little bit less, sir.
you are right, because south or coastal area like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Andhra, wherever the coastal region is there, humidity is high, temperature is high. This mushroom is, I mean, Calosaib indica is known as summer mushroom also, and the congenial climate or suitable climate is found in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and even in Bengal. Bengal is also very, you can say, very much suitable for this. Odisha is very much suitable for this. So they are successful in this, and they are growing much of the quantity of this milky mushroom over there. But it was started from Rajasthan only. It was in 1993 that we got success. There was an ad hoc project from ICR in 89, and we got success in 92. And in 93, we perfectly developed protocols, and then we published it. And it was one of the very good success. Thereafter, we got this All India Coordinated Project Center in Udaipur.
Sir, last year, sir, then what is the present scenario of milky production in Rajasthan?
My milky production is very less. It is around 980 tons per annum. While in case of Tamil Nadu, you can say it is more than 10,000 tons per annum. In Kerala, it is more than 18,000 per annum. So that is the scene here.
Okay, sir. Thanks for your
Welcome.
kind
Welcome.
information.
Hello, sir.
Ah,
Sir, can I ask one more question?
yeah.
Okay. Sir, just want to know, sir, is that Volberella bombacina species, has that been
Yeah.
has that been domesticated yet?
No, it has been domesticated already, and in Odisha and coastal area, as I was telling you, because this likes humid or hot climate, this can be grown only in Odisha and coastal areas, Odisha, Bengal, and Kerala and Tamil Nadu, all those states. हाँ हाँ अरे मैं क्लास ले लूँ मैं करता हूँ. So it can be grown in coastal areas. However, we tried on composted substrate and we could get success, but could not be popularized because then it is very costly to grow this on partially prepared compost, and then the consumer preference is also very low here.
Okay. So actually, I
People
heard.
its importance. However, taste is wonderful. It is very good mushroom, and it is very much popular in most of the coastal states. And it is very, you can say, out of all mushroom, if someone asks me that which is one of the best mushroom, this is Volverilla.
So actually, why I'm asking, because I mean, Odisha is known as the Volverilla, I mean, paddy straw
Yeah.
mushroom state of India.
Yes.
It is
Okay.
done quite extensively there. So I mean, but wow, they are doing mainly, sir, the Volverilla volvacia.
Paddy straw.
Yeah, paddy straw,
Yeah,
but then the,
Bombacina also. No. Bombacina is also there. You know that
okay.
in Bhubaneswar there is a center, Equip center is there, and they are having these all species, Volvera bombacina, Volvera volvacia, both.
Okay.
And they are growing on paddy straw mushroom by using this besan or gram dal powder, and
Okay.
by mixing, by preparing layers of these straw, and mixing or spanning them, and after that they get, and it is very short shelf life.
Yes,
After harvesting, you can keep it only for 8 to 10 hours. Then after it releases some enzymes, and then it becomes very soft and roti type.
okay, sir. Sir, actually, I don't
Okay.
know. I heard it somewhere. Even in some articles I read, it was mentioned that in compared to the Volvacia, Bombacina is like it has a little bit of more shelf life, and it can grow in a little bit
Yeah,
more.
it has more shelf life. Bombacina has 24 hours shelf life,
Yes,
and
sir.
that's why it is very good in taste also, and its size is bigger as compared to Volvacia.
Okay.
And if you need the culture, we can send it.
Yes, sir. Actually, I was looking into that direction, because for Volverilla, it's like 6 to 8 hours. It's very difficult to
Yes,
introduce in the market. But even 24 hours is
of
good.
course. Yeah. It is very good, and taste is very good, and it has having very attractive extra white color.
Yes, sir.
That is the beauty of this mushroom.
Okay. So, sir, I can place the order of the culture from Guwahati itself, sir. No issue with that.
Yeah, no issue.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any more question?
Thank you, sir. Are there any further queries?
Okay. Any query, please? Anyone would like to ask any question, please?
If you do not have any queries, we'll consider the session to. Hello, please ask.
Yeah. Should I leave?
Just a second, sir. Are there any further queries?
Yeah. Please ask. And my request and my urge to all the attendants and all the participants that please visit this desert area of the Rajasthan sometimes once in your life. You will be very happy to see this kind of climate. And during December and January is the best time to visit Jaisalmer in Barmer. So you will be able to see dunes and sand just like a sea. So that kind of beauty is there.
Okay,
And
sir.
Pakistan border is also on that
Thank you,
these
sir.
areas. Welcome.
Thank you. On behalf of the participants and on behalf of the organizing committee, I would want to extend our gratitude to you, sir. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, sir.
Presentation, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Madit sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
No, Madit sir, मुझे आपसे एक चीज पूछना था.
Please ask.